people come and they get deceived and told that you can get a BA job and earn six figures.
Girl, I see your face everywhere. When I'm going out, you'll be there.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time of seeing my face, welcome. My name is Obehi, and on this channel I share my experiences as a mom and as a career woman, hoping that you learn from me and I learn from you. And I want to say thank you to all my subscribers who have engaged to this channel. It has been amazing meeting new people and knowing you. I do not take your engagement for granted. I say thank you very much, and I really appreciate all that you have contributed on the channel. And I'm hoping that we will be able to make more wholesome relationship and share more ideas. And I want to say to my new subscribers, thank you very much for joining this channel. It is a place where we're going to learn a lot. Like I said, I'm a mom and I'm a career woman. I'm a social worker by profession, and I have a lot of experience dealing with children. So I'll be able to share my experiences and highlight some things that we need to know as Africans in diaspora to help us train our children right and not fall victim of social services. Now, back to today's video. On today's video, I'm just going to be talking about a topic that everybody has been really lending their voices and everybody has been wondering what's going on. And that is why immigrants are leaving Canada. I know that has been a very major discussion. A lot of YouTubers has talked about it, and I just felt it is time that I give my own 2 cents. So, one of the major reasons I feel like immigrants are leaving Canada is because they have set unrealistic expectations. People believe that once they move to Canada, they can just start, apply for a job and get the high paying job. Some people come and just feel like as soon as they get here, they can start making six figure. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible for you to come and even land a job even before you get into Canada. But for majority of the people, you have to start from a lower level job to get to the higher level job. You have to start from a lower paying job before you can be able to grow up the ranks and then start earning very high. For example, myself, I'm a UK trained social worker. I have a master's degree in social work. And if I was very unrealistic and moved to the country and tell that I can just land an MSW job that is paying six figures without going up the rank, I must be very, very silly and not being realistic. The reality is that in Canada, they expect you to have a bit of experience. Yes, some people say Canadian experience is not a thing, but I feel like they want to know that you are able to work in the Western environment. They want to know if you can, cope working within the Western environment. For me, I'd worked in America, I've worked in the UK, I had a master's degree in social work. That is why I was able to land the job. But I'm not being paid the master's level right now. That's because I have just moved to Canada. I have to grow through the ranks. That is why I usually advise immigrants that come to the country that the best thing for you to do is, if you have a profession that you were working in or you had a field you were working in, look for a job within that field and you will grow up the ranks. It's even easier for you to perform because this is what you know, this is your expertise. You will tend to grow better on the job than moving all together to a very different new career where you start to struggle. People come and they get deceived and told that you can get a BA job and earn six figures. Personally, I say deceived because I feel like all those BA jobs that are going to pay you six figure are not entry level. They expect you to have at least 5 to 10 years experience to be able to get that kind of job that will pay you that kind of money. But the trainers will not tell you that. So when you get on the job, they expect you to bring your expertise. And if you don't have those expertise to bring it to the job, you get laid off. And then you're out of job. You start looking for a job again. Some people go for interviews and cannot even land that job. Check yourself, check your friends, check people that you know around you that have migrated to Canada and ventured into going into one IT profession or the other that they didn't have any skills on. And they were just trained by a trainer and hoping to get six figures. Most times, the reality is that you spend months upon months, or even years looking for that job and not getting it. But I bet you, if you apply for the entry level job in that field that you've learned, maybe BA or project management or whatever, Oracle or whatever it is, and you apply for the low level jobs and you grow up the ranks, it's easier and safer for you to go. And do not forget that you need to continue to do self development. Self development is very, very important. So if you don't do all those things, keep applying for jobs, unrealistic jobs, looking for jobs that will pay you six because you keep applying, and you don't get that job, you'll get frustrated and you want to go back to wherever you came from. Another thing I notice is that people that have professional roles, example, doctors, nurses, lawyers, when they come from Nigeria to Canada, they cannot just get registered because you have to go through the examination processes and their licensing procedures, which could be very cumbersome, very hectic, and also very expensive. And that's one of the reasons why people think and say, oh, I've been in Nigeria as a doctor, I have so many years of experience, and I'm here and I'm struggling to get licensed as a doctor. Those are some of the things that make people leave the country. And I always tell people that it's when you are getting, trying to get these degrees that it feels like it's so much. But when you begin to read the benefits of it, you don't tend to remember the stress you went through when you were trying to do the registration. So, in my own opinion, I would say bury your head, do the work, and at the end of the day, you enjoy the benefits. Another thing that scares immigrants out of Canada is loneliness. Nigeria is thousands of miles away. Africa is thousands of miles away. And if you're trying to buy a ticket to travel to Nigeria to visit friends and family, it costs an arm and a leg. And that's why people get really lonely. And once they get their PR, they are just wanting to go back to Nigeria because they feel like it's so lonely here, there's no support. But I will tell you from experience, I feel like if you are intentional about meeting people, knowing people, you might not find it as lonely as it is. For me and my family in Easter, what we did was we kind of connected a group of friends and we spent time together through a little party and had fun. If we are conscious about it and we make those conscious efforts, we can make healthy relationships that will not make us feel so far away from home. Another thing that makes people so tired of Canada and just want to leave is the weather. Boy, the weather is not a joke. We are in April now, and everybody was like, just a few days ago, people were so happy that the sun was out and everything was good and the weather is changing, being all excited. And all of a sudden, it started snowing. Not small snow, major snowstorm. 6 months of the year were in winter, and then the only few like 2 or 3 months that is really nice weather, and then the other 2 or 3 months is really, really hot. So yes, the weather is one thing again that makes people not want to stay. And I feel like for the cold, if you can get well padded up, if you get the right attire, you'll be able to manage. But yeah, that is another reason why people tend to leave the country, because they cannot cope with the weather. Some people cannot just do it no matter what, whether they are well dressed or whatever, they just cannot cope. So with all these things I've said, for me, I do not mind Canada. I feel like Canada is a really nice place. I might not be making as much as I'm expected to make or as much as I feel like I should be making right now, but I'm not where I used to be. So it's just a journey. I will grow. I know I will grow on the job. I am trying to do some certifications. I'm trying to do some career development just to make sure that I am strategically standing. I'm in the right position. I am prepared when the opening comes or when the opportunity comes. And that's what I feel like every other person should do. If you feel like Canada is not for you, yeah, you can decide to leave. But I feel like Canada is a good place. And if you're more intentional and you put your mind to it, you will enjoy it. Someone asked me that what are the disadvantages of living in Canada? I feel like the advantages outweighs the disadvantages. And if you feel like you cannot cope, think about the benefits you get and then give it a chance. And maybe you might end up liking it. Well, we've come to the end of today's video. I want to say thank you very much. If you've watched to this point, please do well to give me a good thumbs up, like, comment, and share. And see you again in my next
Everything
video.
reminds me of you. I can't take no more. Girl, I think I'm losing my mind. Try to go to work, but I lost track of time. Cause everyone keep looking like you. I can't take no more. I miss your touch from your hands and your body. It hurts. so much to think of you as someone else.